Welcome to another episode of the Laid Back Life podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Ostroff, and joining me today is also Jordan Ostroff. If you're watching this live, it is my birthday today, so I wanted to do a podcast episode on how to find fun and happiness in life. I hope that would be my gift to you all for my birthday. So here's the thing. We spend so much time as kids learning through play and trying to have fun. And in school, a lot of things are gamified to make them more fun. And then we become an adult and we get rid of all those things. But there's a great meme that I love. It says, you have two lives in life. The second life starts when you realize you can order a cake for absolutely no reason. Life is like that. You can order cake at any point. You can find more fun and enjoyment in everything that you do. And it's amazing to me the impact that has on your genuine well-being, on the success of your firm, on your life as a whole. You know, we act like we have to earn fun after work is done, but that's how we end up feeling dead inside. That's how we end up feeling burned out. There are ways for us to incorporate fun and joy into the things that we have to do in a way that is great. You know, happiness is not achievement, but whether you actually enjoy your days, the people you spend time with, your routines, that's going to be the difference between success and failure in the long term. There's a long-running Harvard research that's found that close relationships are one of the strongest predictors of happiness and health. And even the US Surgeon General has warned that loneliness and isolation carry major risk for both mental and physical health. So let's talk about some ways to incorporate more fun, more happiness, more connection with other people into the things that we quote unquote have to do, right? Because most people are not miserable because life is impossible. They're miserable because they're living on autopilot. They're miserable because they're lonely. They're miserable because they're allowing their calendar to be filled with other people's requests instead of the things that truly matter to them. So we let our calendar get filled with work, with chores, which leads to stress, with other obligations. You know, then we hope happiness, joy, excitement will somehow squeeze its way into the margins. It's never going to happen. Right? It's not just this problem of I need a hobby. It's this problem of I don't know anybody who has a hobby, or I'm not spending time with them to do their hobby, or I'm not enjoying the people I spend a ton of time with, or I'm not making time to spend time with other people. Those are the things. And we can make really easy twists here in a way that helps us grow our firm, in a way that helps us grow our life, in a way that helps us be better leaders, better spouses, better parents, whatever it is that we're looking for. Social connection matters more than we think. The World Happiness Report continues to show that social support and connection are strongly tied to well-being, while loneliness pulls us in the opposite direction, right? So I don't know what we're doing anything for other than to enjoy life and be able to provide positive experiences for others. This is how we do it. The happier you are, the more you will enjoy life, the more you will stay in the game, the longer you will be a part of society, the easier it is for you to put that little extra in, which ultimately helps everybody else. So 3 ways to find more happiness. The easiest way, let's meet you where you already are. Pay attention to what is already fun for you. Stop treating happiness like a giant mystery. Look at what already gives you energy. What makes you laugh? What makes you lose track of time, getting into that flow state? What feels light instead of heavy? A lot of times we know what we enjoy. We just push it aside in favor of what feels productive. And so here's the reality from a true specific production standpoint, right? 75% of people are more focused in the morning. They take a dip during midday and they're more creative in the afternoon. So unless you are specifically required to sit at a desk 9 to 5 and just grind out work, I push a lot of my clients to try to take some of these fun things and put them in that dip. You know, you're already in a position where you are going to make worse decisions, struggle through things. You know, where can we get some fun stuff? It might be going for a walk around their office or outside of their house. It might be going to a fun networking lunch with somebody they want to hang out with. It might be taking, 30 minutes to play a video game or watch something on Netflix. That's totally fine when you make the time for it, so everything else is handled. And so again, 75% of people more focused in the morning. So knocking out all the deep work, all the production, all the really, specific things that need your best brain power, court hearings. Then work a little fun into the afternoon. And then after that, you're going to be more creative. So doing content creation, evaluating marketing plans, doing brainstorming sessions on cases, on marketing, those things become really good for that. And then obviously you have after work and before work hours to have more fun, right? Here's a way to truly get a schedule that will make you the most productive by including fun time, that chance to reset, that chance to refocus, that chance to reignite your best effort. If Tony Stark had a law firm, he'd automate all of it and spend a ton of time at happy hours and Topgolf. It amazes me how often when I'm working with firm owners one-on-one, we create a firm that is supported by them doing less, a life that helps them do more, and then tie those things together in a way where they have the success they've always dreamed of. If you're ready to delegate like Batman and lead like Captain America, click the link below and let's talk to see how we can work together to help you achieve the law firm you've always dreamed of. All right, so number one was pay attention to stuff that's already fun. Number two, use other people as a shortcut. I'm using the word use here very kindly, right? I'm not telling you to take advantage of other people, but spend more time with people you like. Ask them what they do for fun. Go do that fun thing with them. I'll give you an example. One of the first people I met in San Antonio, Rob Nichols, awesome guy, does flooring here, gave us multiple tours of the city, not specifically, but we'd meet up for different events. He's lived here for his whole life. He's big into canoeing. I have never canoed, I've kayaked, but I was like, all right, I'll try it, let's go. So now we got to spend a morning out canoeing. I got to try something fun. I got to spend more time with somebody I wanted to spend more time with. I got to, experience canoeing, get some exercise. Do I think I will become a professional canoer? No, absolutely not. That's not the point of this. Do I think that I got my steps and got some exercise and hung out with somebody I wanted to spend more time with in a way that was amazing and a lot of fun? Yes, absolutely. So when you come across people, if they look happier, lighter, more alive, if they're more connected than you are. Like I said, I moved to San Antonio. When we landed, our realtor is the person we knew the most because we had met her twice. So people who are more connected, don't just admire them from a distance. Ask them what they do. Ask them what they're involved in. Ask them where they go. Ask them what they're into. Ask them what nonprofits they're volunteering. Ask them what causes mean a ton for them, and then do it with them. There's a guy in San Antonio, Howie Nestel, who jokes that he is the world's poorest philanthropist, right? He's constantly involved in raising money and speaking and going to these events. So every couple weeks, hey, what do you have going on? What events are there? What are these things that you're up to? Can I go? Can I join you? Great opportunity to find out more things, spend some time with cool people, not show up not knowing anybody. It amazes me. Our brain is truly wired to be afraid of completely new circumstances. And so that's why trying the canoeing with somebody you already know, going to a networking event with at least one other person, it will make you less mentally afraid. So you will show up happier, in a better state. You will be more likely to have fun and to enjoy the experience by doing it this way. Borrow energy before you create your own. Sometimes happiness is less about inventing a new life and more about joining somebody else's good rhythm. And so this is why I think it's great. A lot of attorneys play golf. Golf tends to be a foursome, right? Do you have somebody who plays? Do you have a partner that you can go and pair up and do 2-on-2? Can you go out, it's a smaller group, but it's really easy for you to get involved with people already doing it, finding that rhythm. Also, I think that a lot of the networking that I do, I intentionally try to do it between 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, because my thought process is if this person can go join me or they're already doing events during the day, that means they're prioritizing networking. That means they're prioritizing business development. That means they're spending more of their time and effort to make sure that their office will run well behind them so they can get out to these events. Those are the kind of people I tend to enjoy hanging out with more. That's not to say I don't hang out with anybody who has a normal job hours by any means. But what I'm saying is when it comes to finding happiness, it's an easier time for me to have flexibility because my child's in school, and the other people that have flexibility tend to be my kind of people. All of this works because fun is contagious, right? And so is isolation, which is weird, like you're alone. But being sad, being isolated, those are things that will catch on. Being with other people is contagious. When you hang out with more fun people, you will have more fun. Jim Rohn has a great thing. You are the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, guess what? Make those 5 people that are happy and fun and successful, and then you too can be happy and fun and successful. We talked about that Harvard study. So they've got some findings on relationships along with broader public health research on social connection point in the same direction. Better relationships tend to support better lives. It sounds so simple, I know. But we don't really make the effort to do it. When I talk about thinking back on our 13-month cross-country road trip, it's amazing to me. Being in Orlando only for 4 or 5 times in that entire year, there were people I saw more often because I had to make the time. This wasn't a situation where, hey, we could just go grab lunch next week instead. No, I was only in town for that week. So I tried to see everybody. I tried to see as many people as possible in that time frame. So there's a lot of people I ended up seeing more that year than the year where we always lived 15 minutes away from each other. So we need to build this connection and fun into our calendar. If it matters, we schedule it. So it's easy for us to calendar meetings, deadlines, school pickups, etc. But joy is never going to magically show up. We need to put things on the calendar, put people on the calendar, put events on the calendar. So for me, I carve out Tuesdays and Thursdays for networking lunches. It's on my calendar. Now, does that mean I will do a networking lunch every single one? No, but that means that nobody can auto book me for that time. And I have to make the specific decision to take on something else instead. If I have the opportunity to go on a phenomenal podcast and that's the only time available, great, I'll give up the lunch. But knowing that I'm doing that intentionally, rather than if I'm going to book all my lunches 2 or 3 weeks out, but if my clients are scheduled 4 to 6 weeks out, I'm never going to have that time. That's going to be difficult. So I schedule time for Topgolf twice a month in the afternoons. It's on there. Do I go every single time? No. But again, nothing else can auto book. It's on my calendar. I have to make the intentional decision to knock it off my calendar. I schedule exercise every single day, and every single day it's on my calendar. I'm lucky the place that we live has 20 miles of paved greenway behind it. So I'll go for a run, I'll go for a walk. In essence, the wilderness in the middle of San Antonio. It's amazing, but it's on my calendar so that I can make time for those things. And then I have a meeting with my EA on Mondays and Thursdays. On Mondays, we look at our calendar for 2 weeks ahead, and I am supposed to have one after work activity every single week. So she will let me know really 2 weeks in advance, hey, you don't have anything for next week. And so then I'll go to Howie. I'll go to people that I know that are connected in town and say, hey, what do you have going on next week? Anything fun that I can join you for? And now it gets put on the calendar and it's there. I have these things scheduled to do it. It's amazing to me how many people talk about life is busy. We're all busy. Right, we are. And there's no way for you to get more than 24 hours a day, but there's no way for you to get less than 24 hours a day. And so I don't want you to give up sleep. I don't want you to give up time with your family. I don't want you to give up time for yourself, but calendar those things. By getting them onto your calendar, other things don't get booked over that time frame. Right? So my wife teaches law school here. She right now has a Monday evening class. So my calendar is blocked off every Monday. It's me and my son. It's our day. Now he usually has baseball. If not, we go find something else fun to do, but that's on my calendar every single day or every single week, right? I don't work Fridays. And so I'll do a day date with my wife every other Friday. I'll do a day by myself every other Friday. And that's on my calendar recurring now. Do we follow it 100%? No, but it's there. So sometimes, a situation will arise where she has to work on a different week. Sometimes we'll swap it. Sometimes we'll pass it. It just depends. But we have those things on the calendar so that every time we don't follow them, we have to be aware of what's going on. We carve out Thursdays for family dinner. It doesn't happen every single week, but when it doesn't happen, we move it to another day. My wife and I try to do 2 date nights on Saturdays, so it's on my calendar recurring every other Saturday for us to do a date night, and then we confirm with our babysitter, or we have parents in town, or whatever it is. These things need to be on there so that even if you don't do them, you have the mental belief, you have the understanding that you did not do them. Either you can set this up the 3rd Thursday of every month, we're going to have a lunch open to everybody and you blast out the information to people, or when you're meeting with somebody who you really want to spend time with, don't leave the meeting without booking something else. I have sat down with a realtor friend and we have booked a lunch out 3 months from there because that was the next time we could get our schedules to line up, but it was booked. It's on the calendar, right? Make the time while you're already with this person. Set the next event. Look, I have a son. He's 8 years old. I take him on a ton of things. If you have kids, great. Make them part of this. I guarantee you a bunch of your referral sources have kids around the age of your children. I guarantee you a bunch of people you want to spend more time with have kids around your age. And guess what? They're also sitting there thinking, oh man, I want to spend more time with my kids while still growing my business. Great. Set a meetup at a park. Set a meetup to go for a walk. Set a meetup to go to an event that is kid-friendly on a Saturday. You can knock out a bunch of these things at the same time in a way that really helps you grow your business while accomplishing other goals. You're trying to lose weight, go for networking walks with people, move some of your meetings to walking meetings. You're trying to try new restaurants, great, book more networking lunches, have the other person pick, give your assistant a list, give them a list of 5 restaurants you haven't tried that you want to try, and they can pick from there. You can find ways to make connection part of achieving whatever other goal, which will lead to happiness. Because remember, number 1 was pay attention to what's already fun. If you find that networking lunches are awful and terrible and you hate them, don't do them or do fewer of them. If you find that they're fantastic and you love them, do more until you find a reason not to. For me, it's my weight. I would happily do a networking lunch every single day, and then I would be 300 pounds. So that's why Tuesday, Thursday becomes my balance. I'll lift weights Tuesday and Thursday, so I think I can eat a little bit more carbs. I still try not to go crazy at networking lunches, but that's my plan, right? So I've built it into my calendar. I've used other people as a shortcut, and I paid attention to what's already fun. I knocked out all 3 of these in one thing. So let's make the little reframe. Happiness is usually social, but not solo. There is definitely time for solitude, right? The difference between solitude and loneliness is the mindset. So for me, I will go run, I run a 5K every week and a 10K every week. And then I usually have like a sprint workout or something else in between. Those are by myself. They bring me a ton of joy. They release a bunch of endorphins and I have a blast with them. But the majority of my happiness is not alone. Sitting on the couch watching TV by yourself is consistently rated the lowest level of happiness of any specifically happy event. Spending time with your kids, spending time with your wife, spending time with friends, even if you go to a movie, is rated that much higher, right? It could be almost the same thing, but it's that much more happiness. Doing physical activities tend to provide higher levels of happiness, right? People think happiness is mostly about personal success, money, or freedom, but it's not. It comes from shared experience. It comes from feeling known, feeling seen, feeling heard, laughing with other people, being invited to things, being included, having something to look forward to with others. That's why I love, like they say, the happiest marriages, you always have a vacation you're looking forward to. By the way, my wife and I will be traveling to Vegas next month. We have it to look forward to. And then we have a summer trip. We have it to look forward to. Same thing with friends. Booking that next meeting when you're at the last one, something to look forward to. It's amazing. Another Surgeon General advisory goes beyond feelings, makes the case that social connection affects health, resilience, and even educational economic outcomes. So the happier you are, statistically speaking, the better economic outcome you have. Oh my gosh, the clients I have that make so much more money by playing more golf with referral sources, it's amazing, right? I have clients who are like, hey, now I need to hire a lawyer. I've never had so much work coming in because I'm playing so much golf, because I'm going to so many lunches, right? It sounds crazy, but it's worked for me. It's worked for them. It can work for you. And again, I go back to the, if you love those things, if you hate golf, if you hate other people, if you hate networking lunches, we'll find something else for marketing. But here's a great way to find a ton of happiness, spend time with people you genuinely like, and grow your business. So when your life feels flat, don't think about working harder or even find a better hobby. Find better people or people who are more aligned with what you're trying to accomplish and spend more time with them. Do fun things with them. Sometimes it could be a Zoom 30-minute networking setup. Sometimes it could be grabbing lunch. Sometimes it could be taking kids to the park. The thing is not the issue. It's getting it on the calendar and actually doing it. So here's what I want to push you to do. Reach out to one person you like being around. Reach out to one person who you want to spend more time with. Reach out to one random person and ask all of them, where do they go for fun? What do they do? Where do they go? What are they excited about lately? And can you be part of that with them? Pick one thing for each of those people, pick one thing for one, whatever, schedule it and go do it. That's what I want you to do. The other thing we didn't touch on is cutting out things you don't like. So for example, most of our episodes are 60 minutes, which is great with a guest. I hate talking nonstop for 60 minutes. So we're going to make this a 30-minute episode, right? So just as I talked about finding the things you enjoy, find the things you don't enjoy and think about getting rid of them. Delegate them to somebody else, automate them, stop doing them. That will give you more time to spend on the things that you enjoy. I would honestly tell you, cut things out of your schedule before you add things to your schedule if you can, because again, we don't get more than 24 hours. So look, fun is not childish. Happiness is not lazy. Building a life you truly enjoy will be the thing that makes you successful. It will be the thing that gets you where you want to be in a way that you enjoy the journey. So you will stay in the game. You will not be burned out, or at least feel less burned out. And ultimately, when you are hopefully many decades, moons, generations in the future, when you are sitting on your deathbed, I really don't think you will regret that I grew my business by spending a bunch of time with people I really liked. I just don't see that being a thing. Now, we could regret not spending more time with people. We could regret not building a business that we love. We can regret not spending much time with our kids or spouse. I don't think we regret the opposite of those. So let's put those things in place now. And sometimes we have to use them to make our business grow. Other times we do it for the pure joy. That's okay. That's what life is about. At the end of the day, success, happiness, joy, that's what I'm pushing for you. I hope that's my birthday gift to you. See you on the next episode.